It is the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. I'm here every single day from 5 to 6 talking about the local issues that matter to you most and taking your phone calls at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. You can email me as well, randykabc@gmail.com. That's randykabc@gmail.com. It is Tuesday, the 7th of May. And I am currently awaiting Cecily Myart-Cruz to take the stage at a UTLA SEIU protest outside of the LAUSD school board meeting that is going on right now. They are mad as hell, and they're not going to take it anymore.
And I want you to be all the way pissed off.
See, there's going to be massive budget cuts this year because the state has a massive budget shortfall. COVID money's running out as well, so Carvalho, the superintendent, has to make cuts somewhere. So there's going to be some cuts to some classified staff. UTLA doesn't like that. SEIU doesn't like that. They believe, along with their affiliated organizations like Reclaim Our Schools LA and Students Deserve LA, that the way to settle up the budget and make sure we don't get rid of any classified staff is if we get rid of all school police officers.
Bye.
That's what she wants. Now, Cecily hasn't taken the stage yet. We're still at the opening act. So, do you know what I've been doing for the past 20 minutes on Instagram Live? I've been listening to chant after chant after chant after chant of the beginning of this rally on Beaudry. And if you're wondering, what are they chanting? Don't you worry, I was recording.
What do we want? When do we want it? Now.
They want no cuts. And they want it now.
What do we want? When do we want it? Now.
Oh, her voice cracked in that one. What else do they want?
If we don't get it, shut it down.
If we don't get it, shut it down. If we don't get what we want, your kids get no education. That is the Cecily Myart-Cruz way.
Hold the line.
This is the same person that kept the schools closed during COVID longer than anybody.
Our learning spaces are special places.
If we don't get it, shut it down. If we don't get it, shut it down.
Oh, just you wait. When she takes the stage, that's usually what she first says, and then she starts screaming it, and then they start screaming it. You know, you might see the energy that goes on at some of these big music festivals in the desert and in Vegas. There's nothing like the energy of a SEIU UTLA rally because there is so much excitement in the room because they know at the end of that rally, they are definitely getting a raise. Even if they didn't ask for one, they're getting a raise.
We demand higher pay.
When they rallied, the UTLA rallied with SEIU last year, it was for the SEIU raise. But because they rallied so hard, they got a raise too.
Get that money.
And I think Cecily got more than she was asking for. So Carvalho, be afraid, my friend.
Hey, Carvalho, you can't hide.
We can see your greedy side.
Wait, what was that one? Hey, Carvalho, you can't hide. We can see your greasy hide? That's rude, and you can't rhyme hide with hide. Maybe I heard that wrong.
Hey, Carvalho, you can't hide.
We can see your greedy side.
Oh, we can see your greedy side, like the superintendent of LAUSD is some old miser. Mr. Burns-esque, making sure they don't give any of that money. And this isn't the same guy that totally folded to everything that you wanted less than a year ago.
Let's go.
Hi, Cess. She's coming soon. She didn't take the stage soon enough for today's show, but later in the week, Johnny's show, this show, we're going to have fresh, new Cecily sound because she wants to make sure that she...
Get that money.
Hey, Carvalho, you can't hide.
We can see your greedy side.
Oh, boy. What else you got for us, UTLA protesters?
1, 2, 3, 4. Students are worth fighting for. 5, 6, 7, 8. Full staffing cannot wait. What?
They weren't really coordinated on that one, were they? You got to have the syncopated rhythm of your chant. Otherwise, the 1, 2, 3, 4 does not work. So, good luck with that. But again, this is the opening act. This is the beginning of the rally. I don't know why they live stream this. I was one of the 30 people watching this for 20 minutes.
I say my people. Yeah. I say my people. Yeah. I tell the story. Yeah. I tell the whole wide world. This is Union territory. Say my people.
Oh, boy.
The united, will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated.
Wait, is it divided or defeated? I think they got confused on that one. There's not a whole lot of coordination between the SEIU and UTLA in this rally to go after Carvalho, who has to make budget cuts because the state is broke. Hey, you know what? Gotta have a Spanish language one. That one was a little more fun. They're getting the drum beats too. What else they got?
Ain't no power like the power of the union, 'cause the power of the union don't stop. Say what?
I think I've only got one more here for you. But if I had to hear this, so do you.
Who's school? Who's school?
Our school,
Who's school?
our school,
Who's school?
our school,
Whose house?
our house,
Whose house?
our house.
Who?
Yeah, they weren't ready for that. So that's what's going on right now at the beginning of this big old rally from UTLA and SEIU Local 99 as they say you cannot make cuts. Meanwhile, inside the school board meeting, you had a whole bunch of student activists from Students Deserve LA and Reclaim Our Schools LA who said we need to balance the budget by getting rid of all the police officers. And I made an editorial decision. I was going to roll in all that and play that for you, but I don't feel too great about playing the sound of minors, even when they're saying something totally crazy because, you know, give them a little break. They don't know what they're talking about. But at the same time that all this is happening, you have parents in LAUSD, the missing part of this equation, who have a totally different proposal. See, a whole bunch of parents organized and took a petition to LAUSD school board meeting today. And what do they want? They want more police, not less police, because there have been a lot of violent incidences at LAUSD schools recently. For more on that, here's a report from Fox 11.
Some parents will present a petition to the LA Unified School Board today, calling on it to beef up police at schools.
The request comes a couple of years after parents demanded the board slash the police budget.
Well, teachers union demanded that. I don't know how. Maybe some parents did. You know what? It was a weird time. We all did really stupid things during COVID. I bought a rowing machine. A lot of other people decided to defund the police.
Gigi Gracietta is standing by with more on this. Gigi, good morning.
Good morning. The Board of Education meets this afternoon, and that's when those parents are expected to present their petition to bring back school police to campuses because of this. Take a look. Incidents of violence on campuses and near campuses, like at Carson High School, where there was already a huge response of law enforcement after a threat to the school was reportedly found scribbled on a bathroom wall.
Holy cow.
Along with a social media post that scared some parents enough to keep their kids home from school, all the while demanding that LA Unified return school police officers back to schools.
See, instead of having school police officers, much like we have done with Metro, much like we have done with West Hollywood ambassadors, we took the money that was supposed to go towards sworn police officers to keep the kids safe, to keep the bad kids in line at school, and we contracted out to different security agencies that hired ex-cons that don't really want to do anything to break up the violence.
This demand coming also on the heels of a study from a Board of Education task force that showed a marked increase in high school violence in just the last few years.
Huh. So there's correlation is not causation, but it's an interesting one. I mean, if you listen to Mr. George Gascon, who bases everything on data,
you can come up with data to support almost any argument.
You can see that when we defunded the LAUSD Police Department, thanks to Cecily Myert Cruz's demands, the violence in the schools went up.
From the recent shooting death of a 15-year-old Washington prep student during an after-school confrontation to a middle schooler caught with weapons in Northridge this week. Add that
weapons, including handguns, in their waistband.
Add that to your normal schoolyard fights, along with drugs and fatal drug overdoses on campus. Parents say enough with defunding the police. They want them back. We spoke to one mother who was so spooked by the threat, she asked that we not identify her.
I wish they would have left the police on the campuses of the high school. Receiving that input, having these meaningful conversations to then incorporate them into our community-based safety plan for all schools.
Oh, Carvalho, you're going to fold immediately. This man has no backbone. He gave the teachers union, the SEIU, everything they wanted and more.
LA Unified School Police were mostly removed from campuses after protests 2 years ago. The board then slashed the school police budget by about 35%. So again, parents are now organizing, signing petitions. No word on exactly how many parents have signed those petitions. We'll learn more during this afternoon's school board meeting. Reporting live at LA Unified School headquarters in downtown Los Angeles, I'm Gigi Graciette. Back to you.
All right, Gigi, thank you.
Now, the reason that UTLA is complaining and saying that we got to do other things than cut all the other services is we can cut the police. We can cut the police budget. That's what they have advocated for in the past. That's what they're doing through their student organizations like Reclaim Our Schools and Students Deserve to say we don't need school police. School police don't make us safe. They think we can save all these jobs if we just get rid of the school police.
We've surveyed our...
This was a UTLA member that spoke at the school board meeting about an hour ago.
We've surveyed our members to see what positions these cuts would impact. Here's a short list of important positions that would be lost at school sites. Class size reduction teachers, special education teachers, PSA counselors, PSWs, school psychologists, library aides, and the list goes...
By the way, when we're acromanizing positions, it tells me that you don't know what that job is, and I don't either.
Library aides, and the list goes on and on. Students will pay the ultimate price if these cuts go through. Not only will our students lose key positions, they will also lose important academic programs and social emotional support services.
So while this rally is going on right now...
What do we want?
There was a different rally going on this morning with those parents that say enough is enough. I don't feel safe sending my kid to LAUSD. There should be police officers on campus. And they talked to KTLA and had a very different message than for what's going on at the LAUSD board meeting right now.
This morning, a group of concerned parents are calling for the LA Unified School District to heighten police presence on local campuses. KTLA 5's Alina Bovian live in LA's Westlake District with this developing story. Hi, Alina.
Hi there. Well, the main concern is the drug use on campus and, of course, the violence. So these parents,
Wait, I thought we put Narcan everywhere and that was going to solve the problem.
Hi there. Well, the main concern is the drug use on campus and, of course, the violence. So these parents, some of them standing right here behind me, earlier this morning, they spoke at the LAUSD meeting and also presented 25 other signatures they gathered from other parents. And now...
Wait, that's all they could get? Oh, boy. This isn't going to go well.
And now they're here to speak with us. I want to introduce you. This is Maria Luisa Palma. You are an LAUSD parent, and also to give us another perspective, we have Gil Gomez. You are School Police Union President. Hi to both of you. What is your message?
Our message to the district is that the Latino community deserves a seat at the table to have these conversations about the lack of safety on our campuses, the rampant drug use that continues to happen on our campuses. The parent voices are not being heard, and we are sick and tired of being excluded from this conversation. And so we are here to present the signatures and to show the district that our Latino parents do have a voice and they're expressing their views. And we want, for the most part, to begin with, the school police back on campus, inside the campuses like they used to be.
Good luck with that. You're going to need a lot more than 25 signatures to convince Carvalho to stand up to Cecily. But I really appreciate that somebody is making their voice heard, making themselves public, and starting to organize in the other direction. Don't see enough of that.
You and I spoke earlier about recent incidents that happened that's calling this need for change. Can you walk us through that?
There was the tragic shooting incident at Washington Prep High School a couple of weeks ago when one student shot another and that student died. We've had incidents with two young boys at a middle school that were holding guns on campus. And then another incident where two students were stabbed outside of Cleveland High School. And these are just in the last couple of weeks that we know of. These were the publicized incidents.
I'm sure there's plenty that don't get reported.
And Mr. Gomez, you are on the law enforcement side. Why do you think the current environment isn't working? Because according to LAUSD, they want to invest more in preventative measures by having counselors on campus, people who can essentially stop the fights. But you're saying that's not the case.
That's not the case right now. I think their experiment didn't work. For the past couple of years, they were using impromptu security companies to replace police officers on and on campus. Some of these individuals were formerly incarcerated individuals. I have nothing against them, but
That's right. LAUSD decided to put ex-cons in front of your kids instead of police officers because the ex-cons made them feel safer than police officers. Is that right, Cecily?
That is fantastic.
some of these individuals were formerly incarcerated individuals. I have nothing against them, but that is not how you replace school police officers on campus. This last incident, this poor child got killed across from Washington Prep High School. 3 of these security company people did nothing. There's video all over the internet. One of them.
So it's like the ambassadors that do nothing when people get beat up in West Hollywood or on the metro. So this is now what LAUSD is doing.
One of them said, I'm not going to do anything. Call the police to handle it. Finally, once the individual was shot, we had a school police officer. She was the only one on the floor rendering first aid to this individual. This does not work. These individuals are not trained. They don't have the training. They don't have the authority to do things, and they don't know how. Probably good people, but they're in way over their head. Nobody would try to do this with teachers. You just don't pull people off the street and tell them to teach. You sure as heck don't do that with police officers.
And Maria, one last question to you. I know that you spoke in front of the school board today. What's the next step? What's the follow-up to this?
That remains to be seen from the school district and the school board. We don't have any formal process. We are just requesting this. We'll wait to hear from them. We want to talk. That's what we want.
Yeah, good luck with that. I really, really appreciate what she's saying, what she's trying to do, but you're going up against the biggest behemoth in the unions, UTLA.
Hold the line.
But I'm curious because, you know what, we've been doing this for a couple of years here, and we've seen what the results are, but maybe we should just keep going in this direction. Maybe it's time for a course correction. You tell me. I'm going to ask you a very simple question because this is what's being debated at the LAUSD school board meeting today. Parents want police officers on school campuses. The students and the heads of the teachers union do not want police officers on school campuses. They would like to get rid of that department so they can use that money for all the other things that they think are better, like counselors and like jobs they can't even define.
Get that money!
So I'm just going to ask you, as residents of Los Angeles, maybe you're a parent of a child in school, should we have police officers on LAUSD campuses? 800-222-KABC. 1-800-222-5222. I would like to talk to you about this very important subject that is being debated today. Should we have police officers on school campuses at LAUSD? 800-222-KABC. 1-800-222-5222. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. We're taking your phone calls. 800-222-KABC. 1-800-222-5222. There's a line open for you right now. The LAUSD is having a whole lot going on right now. There's a school board meeting going on. Outside, you have protests and rallies and cries from UTLA, the teachers union, and SEIU Local 99, the union for the classified staff. They don't like the fact that LAUSD is facing massive budget cuts because the state is broke. They don't like the fact that some classified staff might have cuts. Meanwhile, inside the LAUSD board meeting, you have students from the LAUSD UTLA associated organization, Students Deserve and Reclaim Our Schools LA, that are going up there and saying the way you got to balance the budget is to get rid of all the police officers. We already defunded the LAUSD police to 35% a couple years ago. We took the officers out of the schools, replaced them with security officers. In some instances, they're ex-cons that just kind of watch, think ambassadors, but in the schools. My question to you, and by the way, at the same time, you have parents that sent a petition to LAUSD saying we want the cops back in the schools. So simple question, do you think we should have police officers on school campuses? Because that's what LAUSD is debating right now. 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Let's start with Richard in Fullerton. Richard, hello.
How you doing, Randy?
Doing great.
Hey, listen, I would love to see cops on campus, but the problem is Cops are expensive, and it overkills the budget. I say grab all these kids that came home from Iran, Afghanistan. They're war-torn. They're battle-ready. Put them to work. Give them a job. Put them back in gear. They're used to walking long ships. They're used to everything under the sun. I say put them on the ground. Let them go up to these college kids, these high school kids, because no one is as badass as our soldiers were. So that's my opinion. They're cheaper and they're tougher.
You know, I love everything that you said about that, except the fact that why are they cheaper? That doesn't make any sense to me. That's not fair.
Well, it's not fair. And when I say cheaper, let's just put it this way. The average kid, and I call them kids because I'm a little bit older, I'm seasoned. The average kid in Afghanistan, Iraq, was in his early 20s. He was probably making $35,000 a year, where a cop in LA is going to cost you $70,000 a year. So you give the kid a raise, pay him $45,000, even $50,000. He's still cheaper, or she, but most of them were men. They're still cheaper than the cops are.
Well, there's an idea. Thanks so much for the call, Richard. Appreciate it. The LAUSD is debating police in schools. Do you think we should have police officers in LAUSD schools on LAUSD campuses? Or should we just defund them completely? Because that's what Cecily wants. 800-222-KABC. 1-800-222-5222. Get on the phone right now. 800-222-KABC. Do you want police officers on LAUSD campuses? The board needs to know that there's support for this because they only got 25 signatures. 800-222-KABC. 1-800-222-5222. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. We're here every single day from 5 to 6 talking about the local issues that matter to you most and taking your phone calls at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. You can email me as well, randykabc@gmail.com. That's randykabc@gmail.com. During that last commercial break, I watched as you-know-who was screaming in front of LAUSD headquarters.
And I want you to be all the way pissed off.
We'll have all that juicy sound for you tomorrow on the John Phillips Show because she was loud.
Man.
Speaking of LAUSD, there's a lot going on right now. Cecily's protesting because she doesn't want budget cuts, even though the school is broke. Alberto Carvalho has to cut somewhere. You have student organizations that are affiliated with UTLA at the board meeting saying the way you balance the budget is you get rid of the entire LAUSD police department that they already cut 35% 2 years ago, and they took the student police officers off campus. Now they're in situations near campus and they can respond, but they don't get to be on the campus. You have parents that say that hasn't worked. Schools have gotten more dangerous. We want the police officers back on the campus. So I want to hear from you at 800-222-KABC. There's a line open for you right now. 1-800-222-5222. Do you want to see police officers on LAUSD campuses? 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Start with Angel in Sun Valley. Angel, hello.
Hi, how are you? Yes, I do want to see. Yes, I do want to see the police on the campuses. You know, the police now. My daughter is a detective in LAPD, 20 years now, and it is really difficult. They don't have enough for us on the street, and it needs to be in the schools. The academy just graduated 1,000 immigrant police officers that are not allowed to carry guns. I think they're perfect. I think they can continue to do that. But we have problems everywhere, and we cannot afford to lose our police on the street. And we do need them in the schools because it's a desperate, really lousy situation. It's dangerous.
Oh, I mean, the fact that we had two middle schoolers that brought handguns in their waistbands to a Northridge middle school just a couple weeks ago, how exactly are you supposed to deal with that situation without having a police response?
Exactly. I mean, you remember when they used to actually put chains on all the doors so the kids couldn't get out, nobody could get in, and they had security? That is nuts.
That's totally nuts. Well, Angel, thank you so much for calling, and let your daughter know for us that we're so thankful that she's doing what she does, because we need great detectives out there, because this is a crazy-ass city.
You bet. Thank you so much. Love you.
Thank you. 800-222-KABC is the phone number. Do you want to see police officers on LAUSD campuses again? 800-222-KABC. Let's go to Patrick in Fullerton. Patrick, hello.
Hey, Randy. How's it going today?
Doing great.
I say maybe. It's like Giuliani had a broken windows policy that seemed to work to clean up crime in New York. If you got a really bad school that's got, gang violence or, propensity for incidents, there should be a cop there. I don't think that, Daisy Hill Elementary necessarily, or, some nice little elementary school needs an armed cop. But some of these schools definitely do need them. I think it's as needed. Otherwise, it's just too expensive and it sends the wrong message to kids.
No, I think you make a great point that, there's definitely some areas where you don't have a violence problem. You don't have troubled youth. You don't have these situations where people are bringing weapons. But what the problem is that when we do that, then they say it's not fair and it's not equitable, and you're just criminalizing certain communities, and they call it racist.
Well, horse hockey is horse hockey, and it's not equitable to have anybody die from violence because they don't fit the description.
I love that. Patrick, thank you so much for the call. Appreciate it. I do have to correct Patrick on one thing. It's called the broken windy theory.
Broken windy theory.
800-222-KABC is the phone number. Let's go to Tim in Woodland Hills. Tim, hello.
Hey, Randy. Important topic. Yeah, I agree with that last fellow that where needed. I think that what's nice is that the last guy actually talked about something objectively and thoughtfully. But I hear what's going on is this idea of decision making by bullies. You've got the union yelling and screaming without sharing any information of any value. You got some information that there's a reduction in 35% of policing funding last year, and there was an increase in crime. Okay, well that's an objective fact. I would say, saying let's defund the police. There are how many thousand school districts in the United States? Show me one that eliminated the police and everything was swell.
For people that love to say that everything they do, for people that love to say everything they do is data driven, they don't have that data.
No, they don't bother even looking for it. It's just this. We'll do what sounds right, and I can pat myself on the back and say I did something. But I would be saying, this is like Cecily Meyer Cruz. How many teachers will have to be killed, Cecily, before you might say, "Gee, we should have had police"?
That is a great point. Tim, thanks so much for the call. Appreciate it. 800-222-KABC is the phone number. Let's go to David in Santa Ana. David, hello.
Hello, Randy. How is everything?
Doing great.
Good. I just wanted to throw out that maybe the teachers union and that bunch could maybe they could pony up for the cops. They just got a fat little salary, so a raise, right? So yeah, just let them pay for it. Or why do they need cops at all? Is there a problem on campuses that we don't know about? I don't know.
There's a few problems, yes. I have a feeling, David, that Cecily is not going to go for cutting into their raises to pay for the school police, considering that Cecily has personally advocated to fully defund LAUSD Police Department, because then she can get that money. 800-222-KABC is the phone number. Let's go to Nikki in Woodland Hills. Nikki, hello.
Hey, how you doing, Randy?
Doing great.
Hello? Oh, yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, I just wanted to say it's almost a kind of a split vote for me. On the one hand, yeah, it's logical to have a policeman and, it makes sense, blah, blah, blah. On the other hand, because I do teach in the schools, a lot of these kids, I don't know if you're aware, besides the crappy behavior, which I know you're aware of that, it's kind of a badge of honor to act out and defy whoever, and it almost seems like the more defiant and outrageous they are, it's like they're posturing for their friends. So I don't know. I wonder how much they'd be intimidated, if at all, by a policeman. They might even, deliberately defy them. And I don't know. It's a mess, Randy.
So you don't think the bad behavior would be deterred at all because they consider it a badge of honor to go in the suspension room?
I don't know if I can say in 100% cases, but there's a certain percentage, that I think they consider it a badge of honor to, defy. And, I know it's pretty sick, actually, and I've seen it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be calling you to tell you this, but I've seen it that, again, I can't say it's 100%, but a lot of them, I think it's a badge of honor to, I've seen them, just walk out of class without, getting high fives from their buddies. Oh, look what I'm doing. It's pathetic, Randy. You know that?
Well, and those few problem kids that want to create a disturbance for everybody, they got to make your job so much harder to teach the kids that actually want to be there and want to get an education.
Hello. Hello. Yep, that's it. It's kind of sad because sometimes you're in a class and the lion's share, so to speak, you're, pretty well behaved, doing whatever. There's always a couple or a little pocket of bird brains that just, can't pipe down or just carrying on the whole time. Yeah. Somewhat incorrigible,
Yeah, totally. Well, I really appreciate you doing what you're doing, and thanks so much for calling in, Nikki. We appreciate it. 800-222-KABC is the number. It is the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. If you'd like to email us, you could do so at randykabc@gmail.com. Vince writes in, with LAPD at an all-time low, a better question would be, where are we going to find a school police force? That is a great question, Vince. If we didn't fire them in the first place, we would have had them. Now, before we get back to the phone calls, a little prize from me to you for listening and participating in this show. 790 KABC welcomes Heroes, a video game symphony featuring music from some of the gaming industry's most iconic titles, from Final Fantasy to Metal Gear Solid. It's all going on at the Hollywood Pantages Theater, one of my favorite venues of all time, July 6th. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com, but right now, caller number 9 at 1-888-790-5222 gets a pair of tickets to the show. Tickets furnished by Niederlander Concerts. Good luck dialing. More of your phone calls in minutes right here on the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. Sammy writes in at randykabc@gmail.com on the SEIU and UTLA protests. The best way to describe these people is with Obi-Wan Kenobi's quote, "You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy." That's good. Back to the phones we go. Sylvester in L.A. Sylvester, hello.
Oh, hi. Hi, Randy. Hey, I just wanted to, off the subject, tell you that program you had about the Hollywood Bowl was so incredible. Unbelievable.
Oh, thank you so much.
No, it was the best program of all time. From all the negativity stuff to everything was positive. And I told friends who don't listen to your program who like the Hollywood Bowl, and they listened to the rebroadcast. Everybody loved it, and I just wanted to thank you.
Well, thank you so much. We'll be sure to do shows like that in the future because we can't always talk about all the negative stuff. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Rose in Marina. Rose, hello.
Hello, Randy. I have the answer. We don't need more police. I know a group that can put Cecily and the bratty kids in place, and it is the nuns. Bring in the nuns. It's my answer. I think it will work.
There you go. Thanks so much for the call, Rose. Appreciate it. Let's go to Nico in La Habra. Nico, hello.
Hey, Randy. So I actually think having the police presence is a great idea. Two reasons. One, they're there if something goes down. And even if it's not a bad neighborhood, there's some neighborhoods where kids have never met a police officer. This whole defund the police, I thought was a horrible idea. But if you have an officer on campus and the kids actually get to meet and see what a decent person he or she is, they might have a different disposition as they get older, and it would also be a deterrent.
I really love that. That is a great point. Expose the kids early to the fact that the police officers are upstanding individuals who want to protect the community. I love that, Nico. Appreciate it. Let's go to Mike in Palmdale. Mike, hello.
Hey, how you doing, Randy? My point is that
I think that maybe they could supplement the budget of the police departments and lower them by having the parents of these feral children committing these acts be responsible.
I think that's a great point. Thanks so much for the call. You got 20 seconds. David and Encino, hello.
Hello, how you doing?
Doing great.
Question, that lady that wants to defund the police, does she have kids in a public school by any chance?
She does. She's a single mother, and she has a kid in the school. That's Cecily Myart Cruz.
And she still wants to have defund the police.
She does. I know. I can't explain it either. David, thanks so much for the call. Thanks, everyone, for your calls and your emails. This was an important show. We'll have all that sound of Cecily Myart Cruz on John Phillips' show tomorrow from noon to 3. And then I'll be back here 5 to 6 for the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC.